Welcome to this edition of Kennedy Saves the World. It's officially fall, so I've busted out my men's Louis Vuitton giant cardigan, which some people say is very ugly. I call those people my family. So Lady Gaga she is a bit of a lightning rod this week because one of her former NYU classmates, Carly Waddell, said that Lady Gaga was annoying when she was in college. And so you've got these two split camps. There are people who were big fans of Lady Gaga, and the charge is that, they were all theater kids and they were studying music and musical theater. And Lady Gaga would sit at the piano and belt out songs from Wicked during their break when people were just trying to relax after a trying dance class or some sort of a vocal class, and they just wanted to sit and lunch in silence. And she made that nearly impossible because she was like, popular, you gotta be popular, which I think, I didn't think I could love Lady Gaga anymore, but I love her even more for that because she was using her talent for good, meaning that she was annoying the annoying people who were, probably in their minds in competition with her, but she was already set up to be a global superstar because of her talent and work ethic and her ability to package all of her favorables into one super rocket and launch into the stratosphere. Does Carly Waddell have little monsters? No, I would argue that she does not. So, of course, it had me thinking, what would people I went to high school with say about me? And they would pretty much say the exact same thing. I've always had a gift for making people mad. I don't know why. I don't try to make people mad, but somehow people get really upset with me. And so I know that I was very annoying to a lot of people in high school because I had two older brothers who went to the same high school. And one year, the three of us were there at the same time. And so I was kind of living in their shadow. So by the time I got to be a junior and I was on my own, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm taking this place by storm. I don't give a shit. And so by the time I graduated, because if you've listened to this podcast, you know that I never graduated from high school. Yes, I do have a college diploma with Latin honors from the Honors College as a Regent Scholar from UCLA. Fours up, go Bruins. But never graduated from high school because I was very busy doing other things like the Croquet Society and Service Club and Teen Center and Youth Legislature and Youth of Government and Girls State and Girls Nation. On top of that, I was Medea in the school play my senior year, and I was interning for my state representative. Okay, so I was kind of busy. I was a little too busy to go to class. But by the time I was done, I was chatty and loud and pretty much the exact same thing, the same way I am now. Dressed a little bit like a freak. I would have worn what I'm wearing right now in high school. You could argue my style has not evolved. I would argue, bitch, do you have a Louis Vuitton cardigan? No, you don't, but you still want to judge? All right, back off. I was voted in high school most likely to be a talk show host. And I'm very proud of that because when I went back for my 10th and 20th reunions, they had the class poll up and, I would point to people and be like, see, I was just as annoying then as I am now. So for people who think they can cancel someone because they are outing who they really were, or, they're exposing a side of someone that maybe they want to keep secret, anyone who has ambitions to do great things, you pretty much know it by the end of high school. And that is a foundation. That is a launching pad. And for a lot of people who go on to do interesting things, the end of high school is very, very boring to them. And they really can't wait to get out of there and live what they hope is real life, which is much more interesting than the crabs in a pot who try to pull you down. I left home right after high school. A couple months in November. I was working on 3 different campaigns. Tuesday was election day. Thursday, my dad and I drove my 1972 Super Beetle from Oregon to California, and I started a very different phase of my life. If Wicked had come out when I was in high school, I didn't play piano because I'm not as talented as Lady Gaga, but I was in High School Musicals with my best friend. And you know what we would do on the weekends to make money because we were resourceful? We would go to downtown Portland, which is now an absolute shithole, and we would busk for money. We would sing songs from choir and from our high school musicals, and that's how we would make extra cash. For a little while, one summer, we were singing pizza deliverers. That is a true story. And we would go to people's houses and we would give them their pizza and we would sing for bigger tips. And it worked. You can't do that in Portland because homeless people would steal your pizza and eat your corpse. And they'd be all tranked out, covered in sores. And that's what happens when you leave a place and you leave all the joy behind. It gets taken over by cannibalistic hobos who are hungry for pizza and brains. So if you are hating on Lady Gaga, maybe you're the one with the problem, friend. And it is the 20th anniversary of Wicked. So go fly and see it. And by the way, quick aside, I snuck into the Video Music Awards in 2010. And I think it was 2010. Don't quote me on the year. I think that was the year. And I used Van Toffler's pass, which was a universal all-access pass to every part of the Video Music Awards. And I sat next to Lady Gaga in her meat dress. And she looked visibly annoyed. I told you I had a gift for annoying people. This has been Kennedy Saves the World. I'm Kennedy.
Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app.
Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.